things like secretary hand, which looks very different to what we use today. But as long as you know the little quirks of it, you can start to read the documents more easily. Take your time, double check everything. Don't believe what you read on the internet a lot of the time, especially if you go into sites where people have posted up their own family trees. Certainly try to link yourself into those trees if possible, but always double check all the information. Don't just assume that it's correct.
Or that you had a relative on the Titanic.
Yes, yeah. We quite often will get people saying, "Oh, I'm like Robert the Bruce," or various other historical personages, which they may well be, but you need to be able to provide documentary proof that that is the case. And obviously, the further back you go, the less documentary proof there is, unless you happen to be somebody who was of any significance within the country, or you did something that's going to mean that you came to the
attention
notice.
of record keepers.
Yes.
So how can members contact they can visit the library, but they can also book a visit online?
So what you can do is you can register to use the library online. So we have an online registration page. And if you just wanted to use the electronic resources, you don't actually ever need to come to the library. You would be sent an email that will give you your login details. If you do want to come and visit the library, you would just bring your ID with you and proof of your residential address. We would give you a library card that's valid for 3 years. And that allows you to come in and use the collections here. Now, we don't allow anybody to borrow anything, so if you want to do research, you have to actually sit in the reading rooms and work here. If you want to pre-order material, so you can check our catalogues online. When you have an active library card, you can go in and order the material yourself. When you order it, it will be fetched and kept on reserve for 6 days for you. If you don't come in within that 6-day period and you don't let us know to renew them, the material will just go back for reshelving again. If you're not sure what you're looking for, you can email us with a question. If you can be as specific as possible, it helps. We have a limit that we will do a maximum of 1 hour's research on behalf of inquirers.
I'd imagine you'd receive quite a lot of queries.
We do, and some of them can be quite vague, which is why I said if you're wanting us to check anything on your behalf, be as specific as possible as what you're looking for. Especially if you want us to do any searches in newspapers. Generally speaking, if it's a daily newspaper, we'll only search 1 month of 1 year. So if you tell us that you're looking for something, but it was maybe in the space of a 5-year period, we'll be telling you that you'll need to come in and do the research yourself, or you'll need to get somebody to come and do it for you if you're not able to come yourself. We can also give names of professional researchers if somebody wants that. We can put you onto an association that can provide researcher details. But obviously a lot of people like to come to the library because they like the experience of looking through the material themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
People are very welcome to come and use the collections as long as they're aware of what they need to do before they come here. I would always suggest, and it's the same with any archive or library collection, if you're going to visit, check in advance whether material is available, how long it takes to fetch, if there's any restrictions to access for some material. Some of our manuscript collections, you need permission in advance to see them. And also be aware of things like the opening hours, whether you have to use a pencil or a pen, or you can use pens, if you're allowed to bring your laptop with you, if you're allowed to take photographs, or whether you have to use a reprographic service. So there's all these type of things to think about, and they vary from place to place. So I would always recommend going onto the website for the appropriate institution, checking everything out, seeing what you need to do, and then when you do come here, you're prepared for how things will be. If you haven't used a research library before, it can be a bit of a shock to the system to begin with. You can feel maybe a little bit at sea because it's not like a public library. You can't just walk in
with a coffee.
Yes. Obviously, food and drink are not permitted in the reading room areas. Coats and bags need to be left in a locker, so you need a £1 coin for the locker. So it's all these type of things that it's good to know in advance of your visit before you come, and then suddenly realise I don't have a £1 coin for the locker, or I don't have a pencil with me, and all these things that can then get people slightly panicked sometimes. The other thing I would say is don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what the staff are there for, is to be able to show you how to use the catalogue if you're not very sure, how to order material. If you want to do copying, speak to the staff and they can explain what the procedures are for you as well.
How best can the members of the public support the library? I know you're a registered charity as well.
We're a registered charity. I think the best way that you can support us is by coming to the library, using our collections, coming to our exhibitions and events that we have, just using the building, because obviously we're here, it's a public building. Yes, there's parts of it which you have to be registered to get access to, but we obviously do have the visitor centre where people can come in, they can use the cafe, they can go and browse in the shop, they can go to the exhibitions. So yeah, the more people that we coming across the entrance, the better. Even if they only come in for a coffee and then they suddenly start thinking, oh, I wonder what happens up the stairs in the reading rooms. So we try to encourage people to come in. We have, we do regular events, workshops, which explain to people how to use the library as well. So we have things like getting started at the library, getting started in special collections. We have maps workshops, we have family history workshops. So again, these are all free. They're advertised on our website. You can sign up for our newsletter or what's on and get all this information sent to you, and then you can book these sessions and come along to them on a day that suits you. So some of them are run once a month, some are maybe once every couple of months, but they're very useful for people because it gives you an overview of particular collection areas, shows you how to find them on the catalogue, and all that type of thing. So yeah, it's very, very helpful to do those type of things.
So the National Library is very much opening the doors to the public.
Yes, No, I mean, we're really wanting people to come in and use the collections. And I think there's a sort of misunderstanding nowadays that they think that everything's on the internet, which is not. I mean, obviously we have our strategy at the moment is to have sort of 1/3 digital, so a third of our collections available electronically by 2025. But there will still be a huge part of our collection that you can only see by actually physically coming here. And I think make it a day out.
There's worse ways to spend your day.
This is the thing.
Beautiful.
It's like come to the library, do the research that you need to do. If you have other time available, then there's plenty to do. We're right in the centre of Edinburgh. There's lots and lots of things to do. There's lots of places to eat. I would always recommend, as I say, coming just to use the collections. But say, do your homework first.
Get yourself organised. Now, in terms of exhibition and events, you mentioned that the courses that are available. The exhibitions, you've got the Scottish Enlightenment one, which I was just visiting today, which is absolutely stunning.
So that exhibition is on until I think the 18th of April next year. So there's plenty of time for people to come along. We also have a small treasure space in there at the moment. We're creating a bigger treasure space, but that won't be open, I think, until next year. So we also have little displays at the top of the main stair, and if you're a registered reader, we have little display cases in the main reading room and also in the special collection reading room as well, that people can come and have a look at collection material.
The Ian Rankin book.
Yes. The other things that we do, so online we have a programme of 80s blogs at the moment as well. So there's lots of long reads on the website as well as other blog posts. So again, that'd be something I would say to people if they're interested in seeing what's in our collections, have a look at our blog posts, because that can maybe spark some ideas about things that you might want to come and look at. Some of them are specifically family history related blog posts as well. The other thing that we do, if people want to come in and see the building and see the bits that are not normally open to the public, we always participate in Doors Open Day, which is coming up in the next month. So in Edinburgh, that's on the 28th of September, so that's both this building and our Causeway Side building. And they also have it in Glasgow the weekend before, so the 21st of September, it's the Kelvin Hall building. All I would say is that if you want to come along, be there early and try and come in early to the building and book a space, even if you go off and do something else later, because we always find that we have so much demand for people to come on these tours, more than we can actually accommodate. So I would say just come in and make sure that you get there early if you want to come in and have a look at the building.
So we've had fair warning from Hazel there.
Yes. Well, so you get taken down to the stacks, so you can see the stack floors. You get shown the void, which is the bit underneath the built underneath the bridge, where I was talking about the big water tanks. So you get to see that and things as well.
Come on to see that, definitely. And if people were looking for information on the National Library, they could check out your Facebook page, your website.
Yes, so there's lots of information on our website. We have some dedicated family history pages as well, so you can go to those. If people want to contact us, we have the email address there. We have the Ask a Librarian page that you can fill in the form. Obviously there's the telephone number. I would say that if you're contacting us by phone, we don't deal with sort of complex inquiries over the telephone. We would normally always ask you to put the request in writing to us, whether that by email, or we do still get people actually writing us letters.
That's nice.
So it's really nice. So we do get the letters occasionally from people. Mainly it's by email. We normally say you would get an automatic notification that we've received your request, your email. We normally have a turnaround. We say up to I can't think off the top of my head now. I think it's 10 working days to respond to your inquiry. It may be that we'll get back to you and say we're dealing with this. It might take a little bit longer to deal with, but we're definitely going to get back to you, and we will respond to everything. I know that some organisations sometimes don't maybe respond to inquiries that they get, but we will respond to everything that we get coming through. We also have a chat service. So we run a chat service in the afternoons into early evening, and again it's a sort of very quick way of getting in touch with us and asking us sort of questions. Again, if it's quite complex, we might say to you that we're going to put it onto our inquiry service, and somebody will get a more detailed response. But if it's something quite quick, we can usually deal with it quickly by the chat as well. So there's lots of ways to get in touch with us.
There is every way to get in touch.
And keep in touch. I say there's social media. So we've got things obviously on Facebook, Twitter. I think we've got things on Instagram as well. So there's lots of social media things.
That's great. Thank you very much, Hazel Stewart, for holding the space at the National Library of Scotland.
Okay, you're very welcome. Thank you very much.